Well, good evening and welcome everyone to 12 News at 6. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. New tonight, a major source of K-12 funding for Arizona schools is set to expire. But for the first time in a long time, Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and Republican lawmakers are agreeing on ways to keep Prop 123 going.
12 News journalist Bram Resnick tells us why there are signs of hope, but still there is a long way to go before voters ultimately decide whether or not to renew Prop 123. Bram?
Yeah, Mark, we're talking about a $350 million a year funding stream for Arizona's public and charter schools. Governor Katie Hobbs agreed with Republicans this week on major deal points to keep Prop 123 alive. But the statewide vote required to renew Prop 123 might not happen until late next year. Then Governor Doug Ducey promised more money for Arizona schools without raising taxes.
Today is a major victory.
Prop 123 barely squeaked by in a statewide vote in 2016. Now, almost 10 years later, the $350 million a year revenue source for K-12 schools has to be renewed. So what is Prop 123? The ballot measure pulls money from a land trust fund created at statehood 113 years ago. The trust fund generates revenue for schools from the sale of state land. Prop 123 increased schools' withdrawals from the trust fund. Where does the renewal stand? Prop 123 is set to expire at the end of June. Until this week, Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and legislative Republicans were far apart on a renewal.
I definitely think it's a step in the right direction that Governor Hobbs is coming to the Republican position.
Republican State Representative Matt Gress of Phoenix has sponsored legislation for a renewal.
That is the big crisis facing K-12 education right now, is that we have a significant shortage of classroom teachers.
Hobbs' new plan matches the proposed Republican increase in state land trust fund withdrawals and also focuses on teacher pay. Hobbs creates another bucket for what she calls flexible funding.
I have concerns about blank checks going to districts when we have such a dire need for teachers.
So when will Arizona vote? Here's what Governor Hobbs told me 2 months ago about the timing of a statewide vote. Is the goal a statewide vote in May?
That would be ideal, yes.
And if not?
August is another option.
May and August aren't happening. Hobbs' latest plan would push a Prop 123 renewal vote back to November 2025. Republicans want to vote during the midterm election in November 2026, when turnout is much higher. And there's an important twist to the Prop 123 story. If the governor and legislature do not put a Prop 123 renewal on the statewide ballot this year or next, money has already been budgeted for both years to cover Prop 123 funding if it ends. So schools would not lose out, but the stakes for a renewal would be even higher. Bram Resnick, 12 News.
Bram, thanks.